Now that we've seen the various ways to enable Azure CDN with our Blob storage account, let's actually take a closer look at what it bought us. I said at the beginning of the course that one of the benefits of using Azure CDN was that it was optimized for content delivery, and we should have a better user experience compared to only serving content from Blob storage. So is that actually the case? Here I have our raw Blob service endpoint open in the browser. Now remember that our Blob storage is located in Azure East US, which is on the East Coast, and I'm based in the Midwest. So we should definitely feel some latency issues as a user if we aren't using a CDN. Let's go ahead and open the Chrome Tools and view the Network tab as I reload the page. Okay, look at that. We can see that it took about 165 milliseconds just to request our index page, and another 250 milliseconds to request our style sheet, plus several seconds to load our images. This red line denotes our page ready time, and it took about 1.83 seconds. Part of that is the large images I chose, but I did that on purpose. This video request is interesting too. It looks like Chrome requested the first part of the video, which was only about 1.2 megs, and then streamed the rest after the page loaded, which took about 16 seconds. Note too that I'm disabling browser caching to get what a new visitor would experience. Let's go ahead and enable caching now to see what the experience is of a visitor who's already visited the site. This is much better at least. The browser has cached most of the resources, all except the index page and the video, which took about 15 seconds to download still. How does our CDN-powered site compare? Let's go ahead and open the network tools and disable caching initially and then refresh the page. Okay, now this is pretty interesting. We've actually experienced a page load time improvement of about 2 times. The page was ready in about 1 second instead of 2. Our page weight was mostly the same, maybe a little smaller, but the latency was greatly decreased on all of our requests. Even though our images are not optimized for thumbnail display, they still took significantly less time to download than by serving them from storage directly. In fact, the video download time was only 660 milliseconds. That's a huge performance improvement. Let's go ahead and disable the cache now. So this is pretty similar performance to a cached blob storage request. Since the CDN location was serving me from a closer edge server, we saw a huge performance improvement to page load times and content download times. In both cases, most content was cached by the browser on subsequent requests, which was good. This is a very small site example, but you can imagine the performance improvements that you'd see in an already optimized application with smaller images and compressed scripts and styles. You should try this yourself. If you're in the US, you could create your Azure storage account across the world and see what the latency is like then. Or if you're outside the US, you could create your Azure storage account in the US to see what your latency is. I bet you'll find adding a CDN will greatly increase your performance.